If we can remember, last class, we started learning about CSS, and CSS is used to create the formattings of the web pages, which means if you want to make the website look prettier, you're going to use CSS. On the other hand, HTML is used to create only the content. What should be coming inside the web page, we create using HTML. That is the main difference between HTML and CSS. Uh, Last class was, I think, our first CSS class, and we started learning about how to create CSS code inside our web pages, right? That is one thing that we started learning, how to create CSS code inside our web pages, right? There are a couple of methods that is possible, which is if you're going to include the web inside one HTML tag like this, you can type a CSS style attribute like this. This is called inline method. And this is one of the powerful method as well because it is very closer to the HTML tag. This works very well. Okay, that is one method of using CSS. There's another method that you can use, which is if you scroll up in the web page, in the web page, we have a special tag called head tag, and the head tag is starting here and the head tag is finishing here. In between this starting and finishing head tags, what we can do is we can include another HTML tag, which is called style. Using this style tags in between these two opening and closing style tags, you can type CSS rules, which means CSS codes you can type. If you can remember our class, I was not teaching you CSS rules or CSS codes. We were learning how we can include CSS codes. And what do you mean by selectors? I will teach you what is selectors in a while. Wait. Then when we include our code inside this style opening code and finishing style code, we can start writing our CSS code. This is very common in our projects. This is one method which is common in our project. This is called internal CSS, which is common to the entire web page. When I'm teaching you more CSS in the program, I'm going to use this particular style how to teach you. Okay. One second, please. Okay, we can continue. This is the second method that we can include. We can include CSS in our page. The third method that we're going to include CSS into our web page is we can create a CSS document separately. You can see inside the WC underscore CSS folder, I have 4 HTML web pages. And inside the same folder, I have created a file called style.css. So inside this style.css file, if I'm not wrong, I have created inside that CSS folder also. I have created a folder called CSS. Inside that, there is a file called style.css. If I open that style.css file, you can see this is a CSS comment. Then you can see I have coded some CSS rules. Rules in the sense each attribute only I have coded. And please remember, we still did not learn any of these yet. Our task is today to learn these things one by one by one. Okay, right. So we're going to start learn CSS today onwards. I mean the rules. So you will be able to do more CSS work once you learn them. These were the operating instructions, and I forgot to tell you how you can link this one with the web page. You can see there is a HTML file called demo2. sorry, demo2 underscore external dot html. This is just a web page which contains ordinary HTML tags. And at here, if you see inside the head section and before finishing the head section, we have included a special HTML tag called link tag. And that link tag says relevance is set to style sheet, then href, which stands for hypertext reference. Hypertext reference. So actually, after hypertext reference attribute, within an equal sign and within double quotations, what we should provide is the file path of the CSS document, which I have given inside the CSS folder. There is a file called style.css. To this file, I have given the file path here. That's what I have done. So when you do that one, the rules that you have written inside that file, that means these rules will be applied to this web page short story. That's it is. Okay, right. This was the recap or the lesson that we actually did last class or before starting the codes. All right. Okay, I launched it. You can again put your attendance. Yeah. Let's continue. So I'm going to close these things. And last class, we started learning about the syntax, right? So syntax means the rule, how to write them. As I was explaining you, inside the style tag and before the finishing style tag, we will be writing style rules like this. So if we take a style rule, it has some parts, as you can see here. What it has is, first of all, this section is known as the selector. We have different types of selectors as well. What you see in the screen is one selector. After the selector, what starts is an opening curly brace, right? What starts is an opening curly brace. Inside this opening and finishing curly braces, you have to write property value, again property value. Likewise, you can continue your CSS code. We are always telling what feature we are customizing. That means, for example, what is the color of the text? What is the size of the text? What is the font style looks like? What is the line height in between the lines? What is the character spacing? What is the alignment, etc., etc. We can tell like that. So all those kind of things can be step by step. You can give the settings like this. It's very simple. Please remember, this is not a programming language. This is just some rules that you mentioned. All right. After this, what we learned was we started learning about how we can write selectors. So when we wanted to write selectors, we have several methods of using selectors. The first, I can directly start the class, students, today, but last week it was a little bit lengthy session, and there were not too much, but I was teaching you some technical stuff like that. I thought that it would be better that I give you a small introduction about what we did last session, right? So we have taken nearly 8 minutes. Doesn't matter. Let's do that one, right? Okay. So first of all, we have the method of tag selector, which means we just give an HTML tag, open curly brace, close curly brace, and we write the style rule for that. That means a valid HTML tag. After that, open, close curly braces. Inside that, you write the rule. What this does is all the HTML tags inside this web page, which are letter P, which means paragraph tags. All the paragraph tags will be having these two settings applied, which means the color will be set to red and text alignment will be center aligned. Okay, that is what we have done here. Then we have another method called ID selection. ID selection means inside your HTML document, you can go inside a tag like this. Whatever the tag you like, you can go, and inside that you can use an attribute called ID. ID stands for identification. You give ID, then you put equal sign, then you give within double quotations, you give a name. Okay, avoid starting names with numbers and avoid using other symbols other than underscore, right? So better use only characters and numbers. And please don't start with the number also. What I have done is I have just said a name like my last para. For this particular paragraph, I have given my last para. Okay. Then at the top here, if you take a look at it, it says my last para. When you want to refer to an ID attribute, or when you want to refer to an ID part, you just use the hash mark. Use the hash mark. After the hash mark, you give the name of the ID and open curly brace, close curly brace, and you can write the code in for that. Then we have done two exercises. Inside this ID tag, if a H3 is coming, how it should be formatted. Inside that ID tag, if a paragraph coming, how it should be formatted. So this actually, there were three variations of the same example. All these three examples were using something same kind of a idea. That means ID parameter we have been practicing. All right. Then students, the last one that we practiced was called class selector. And even you opened Microsoft Word and I was explaining you. I think I did that. If you don't know that, I can just show you that. If you go to Microsoft Documents, I mean Microsoft Word, you will see if I create a document or I'll add a heading like welcome to design class. This is normal paragraph actually. Here also you can generate normal text like this. If you want to make this part a heading, you can select this one and you can see already these formattings have been done. They are called styles also. Actually, if you apply this, that is getting applied. And let's say we want to apply something else for this part. Let's say I like this one and you can do that. If you want to select this and you want to apply, let's say something like this, that is possible to do. Okay. So these are already created styles or formattings. So we just apply them. In our coding, we do the same thing by creating something like p dot para style one. That means we have given a name. Now here, these things does not have names. They are just showing, oh, of course they are having some names, right? And under the style, they are having a name like that. Yeah. And here we are giving a name para style one, right? And why this p dot, I'll tell you. If you go down here, you can see some of the paragraphs are having para style 1, para style 1, para style 1, which means this paragraph, and this paragraph, all these three paragraphs, we need them to be formatted in a similar pattern, or they should be formatted in a similar way. So that is what these three class attributes are doing. Okay. And why we did this p dot here, which means this style, para style one, that class should be applied only to, applied only to a paragraph tag. If you try to put this class, if you copy this and put inside a heading tag, for example, or inside a div tag, for example, if I try to put it here, this will not work for us. In order to stop that part, we have given here that when we are doing the coding, we have mentioned p dot the class name, which means para style one. This will work only on paragraphs. That is what we have learned so far in the course, which, right. So today is our 9th hour going on. We have exactly another 46 minutes left. So I think that is plenty of time, which is enough. And today also we can learn some more things. We are starting to learn the lesson today from CSS, from colors, how to change colors. So it's very simple. I'm going to create a very simple web page. Then I'm going to proceed with you. All right. Okay. So those who are, I strongly recommend that after my session finishes, you start your practicing by looking at the video if necessary. All right. I am creating a new file now. Watch this. Clicking on here. Right. We will call this one as demo5 underscore. So first we will we'll say we are working with colors. So colors.html. So let me explain this to you. I want to create first of all a blank web page, right? Let's call that as working with colors in CSS. I like to have that one as my heading itself. I will create one h1 tag and I will add that one just as a heading. Then I will put a paragraph as usual, just to practice. Then another paragraph, and let's put one more heading. We'll say another sample heading and a paragraph and a paragraph and another heading, which is in heading 2. Okay. Okay. So I saved it by pressing Control S in the keyboard. Let's open our browser window and let's try that one, how it looks. So this is our folder, file : // /f drive. In that, I have a folder called wc_css. I am inside that folder, and you can see demo5_colors is the document we are currently working. So I'm going to click on this document, and you can see this is the sample page or just the rough page that looks like this. I am not much interested in this. I'm going to quickly teach you how you can change the colors. When we say colors, we are not going to just write red, blue, green, orange. We're going to do it, but we're going to learn some variations, how we can do that, right? So please learn it properly. Coming to the top of the web page, I'm going to start style. And I will do like this inside the style. First thing I'll teach you in CSS, when you do some complex styling or complex styles, you may come across something like a lot of code. So in order to keep yourself well organized, what I would suggest is you can make use of some comments. So you can use a single line comment, like no single line comment, I'm sorry, /* and */ whatever you type inside this one, it's a comment, right? Okay, I think that is enough. That lesson is enough, right? So we don't have to do a separate lesson on comments. If necessary, you just add it. Okay. Now, h1 tag, I'm going to give h1 tag, open curly brace, press enter key. Now, this is the selector, and we are using tag selector. H1 is an HTML tag. I'm going to write the code for that. Now, I'm going to write color. You already have seen this one many times. And when I say color and once I put the colon, actually we are in the VS Code environment. VS Code is a very, very helpful editor, which will suggest you a lot of code suggestions. In that, it is suggesting colors of the names, right? So it is providing colors of the names, right? Or names of the colors. Right. Right. Let's try this one. Right. Now I'm going to do, first of all, we will try something like easy. We'll give blue. That is, these are words. Okay, these are words. Now, if you give a word like that in VS Code, it in front of the color name, it gives you a box like this, and it indicates color that this word mentions. So it's a visual indicator for the user. It's easy. If you want to change, you can click and change. We will test this method. After that, we'll do the other one, right? So when I hit that, you can see these are changing to blue. All right. Remember, we learned comments. Okay. So what I'm going to do is each line when I finish practicing, I'm changing it for you, right? Then I will do the next part and show you, right? Let's type this time color, and you can type hash mark, and you can give a hexadecimal values. Hexadecimal is a number system, and usually in the computer screen, colors are made out of something like RGB. These are the basic colors in computing: red, green, blue. Then we can give the value. Each color has a brightness of I don't have to teach you the scientific side of that. Each one starts from a very low value from 0, and it can go up to 255. So 256 combinations are there, right? So, and each one can go like that. Therefore, this can be represented. So these numbers, whatever you represent, it can be represented using a hash mark. It's for the hexadecimal sign. And if you write something like 00, that is the 0. Okay. So this is a color for red, right? Then if you type 11, that is for green, and 22, that is a color for blue. So RGB. So 001122 is a particular type of a color, right? So we can mix that one, right? I didn't want to make this one too complicated for you. If you want to learn more, search in the internet how RGB color system works, so you can find out a lot of things, because time won't permit for me to teach you everything from bottom to top. Okay, right? So this is just a color, and if you type something random, the I'll tell you the hexadecimal digits. In hexadecimal number system, you have the digits starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then A, B, C, D, E, F. So actually, this, according to number system hexadecimal, A is a number. A has the decimal value of, for our day-to-day life number, value of 10. B has 11, C has 12, D has 13, E has 14, and F has the value of 15. Okay. If write something like in hexadecimal, FF, which is 255 actually. FF, this, if you write something like this, right? So this will be, you know, 16 base is 16 to the power 0, 16 to the power 1. So any numbers, 0th power is 1, and first power is the same number. And you can multiply its position value by its value. F means 15. F means 15, right? 1 into 15 is 15, and 15 into 16, it's 15 into 16 is 240. So which is 240. And when you add these two together, you get 255, right? So that is how FF represents the value 255. Anyways, if I give FF, 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 that will be white. You can see it's correctly gets the value as white here. Now I can save this one, and if I reload my page, you will see these things will turn to white color. So if you select only, you can see that it's there or not, which is not a very good design, right? Okay, let's try something different. Okay, so you just randomly give some numbers. Let's say C3, F6, and 99. Okay, so you can see that it's turning into a type of a green color. Purposefully I did not type, so that kind of a color is coming. And what if you want to change this in VS Code, you can simply hover over it. When the mouse pointer comes over this, the palette automatically opens, and you can bring the mouse pointer and you can click on any place. You can see automatically it has taken the hexadecimal value, and I can simply hit somewhere. Let's say if I hit here, the number changes. If I hit here, it becomes darker and darker. If I go up, it is lighter and lighter. You can go for any color that you like, or else you can, in the another place in the spectrum, you can go for a different color like this. It's up to you. It's pretty boring. Let's go for something like a green color like this. Now it has taken that kind of a green. Let's go a little bit darker green. So that's the green color that have been selected. After that's done, you just simply click outside the panel, right? Then that color has been taken. So it says hash 046B 47, right? Or 47. Let's save this one. Let's go to the web page and let's reload this and see. There we go. It changes that into that particular green color. So you can change the colors into using name. You can use name. If you are using names, there are 140 colors like light orange, red, blue, green, purple, indigo. Likewise, a lot of colors are there. But if you're going to use the hexadecimal, it is like millions of colors you can go. Right. So there's another one. Let's try how we can use. You can use, again, you can say color and you can say RGB. RGB. So when you say RGB, what happens is you can give three values within this RGB. You type 0, 0, 0, which is black. Can you see that? If I type 255, as I told you, then 255 and 255, which will be white. I'm sorry, 255. That turns to white, right? Okay, let's turn off RG, which is green. So when you put red and blue together, which is purple, let's reduce the weight of blue, then reddish color is more. Let's reduce more, right? So it is becoming more and more red. Okay. So that's how it is possible for you to mix the colors. And I will put 125, 200, 145. Let's see what that color is. That is also a green color. If you wish to change this, you can hold the mouse here, don't need to click, hold the mouse here and bring it over the color palette and you just choose whatever the color that you like. Okay, let's choose something like an orange color this time. And I can click wherever I like. That color seems to be pretty dull. Let's choose something which is a little bit brighter. Okay, let's go for that orange color, dark orange type of thing. And you can see it says RGB, open parentheses, 255, 111, 0. So that's the values. Now if I reload again, that's also changing the color of the text. So children, you have three ways: name, hexadecimals, or you can use even RGB. Right? There's one more thing. Let me teach you that, how to use that. There are several other methods. I don't want to teach everything, but you'd say RGBA. So RGBA means, let's say, color RGBA. So this is very useful if you put it on a background color, but I'm going to show you this one with text also. Let's try this one. Let me give a color. Let's give a bright red, 255, 255, 255, which is white, right? Let's say 0 and 0, which is red, you can see. And fourth parameter is the alpha. Alpha means what happens is you can give a value from 0 point something, let's say 0 0.5, which what it does is it makes the color half transparent, which means through that you will be able to see the background. See, now it is like a pale color is coming, right? It's like a very pale color is coming through this one. Right now, watch this. I'll show you the difference between that. We will be learning this one next. I'll put a background color. Learning background color is not our lesson now. Let me put a background color, something like green. Okay, that seems to be fine. Let's reload this. You can see that. You can see that this color is pretty pretty dull. Okay. Now, if I reduce that one further, let's say 0.1. So that is again very light, which means this is like washed out. It is very much becoming transparent. Well, if you put it to something like 9, which is almost 90%, and which becomes very bright or which becomes very visible. Okay. And if you want 100%, you just give 100. So which is again more bright. It is like burning our eyes, right? So let's put something like 0.3. Well, that goes like that. So please remember when you give this one last para, that means last value is for transparency. Okay, so last value is for the transparency. So that's how it works, right? Okay, so we will leave this one to something like 7, and I don't like this color. Let's put to something like a cool color. Blue color is fine. Okay, let's reload that, and that's the color. So they don't have an issue with both colors, right? Okay. Now, students, I just want to teach you, or I just wanted to show you colors. This is how you can put the colors of foreground, not only for text. Later, we will be learning things like borders, lines, outliners, things like that we can use. So these same things that you learned, you can apply for them. Okay. Now we're going to learn an interesting thing again, right? So we're going to learn how we can use colors for the backgrounds, right? So we're going to work on backgrounds. I would like to do this one separately because each one let you have a simple example. So in demo 5, we started learning about comments and colors. Colors especially refers to the foreground color, especially text colors and border colors. That is what it is about. So I'm going to show you next step, how to put colors for the background, how to put background images, how to repeat them, and so on and so forth. It's going to be very interesting to learn how to use images with our background as well. Okay, right, let's get started. In order to save the time, students, I am going to do it like this. Now watch this. Uh, I'm selecting demo5 underscore colors.html, and I'm going to duplicate this by selecting the file. Well, Control C, Control V. So just I copied and pasted it, and I'm going to rename this one. Just choose that, press F2 key, and I'm going to change this into demo6 underscore BG. We'll say rather than BG color, we're going to work with images also. So let's say BG1. So it is demo6, but the background, this is going to be colors first of all, then background images likewise. So let's say BG1. That's one example. Let's close the previous one. And in this one, let's open it up, right? So let's go back, reload the page. You can see this is the file I'm working with. I'm going to hit on this, right? The same page, right? All right, let's go here. If I don't like, I can remove this one, but it's not disturbing us. Let's leave it, right? Okay. Let's put another comment. First of all, let's say how we can work with background colors. Right. Okay, students. So you already remember color can be given in name, hexadecimal, RGB, or RGBA. You are welcome to do any of these methods. So I'm just going to use background color, and I'm going to use whatever I really like hexadecimals. So I'm going to choose hexadecimals. This is going to be very straightforward. Put the hash mark, and let's type a color like something like this and like that. And the color comes, you can hold the mouse over and can start choosing the colors. Okay, let's put a tiny kind of a violet color. Might be not very much interesting color, but let's put that and see. Let's save this one. Let's go to the page. Let's reload this. Well, did I make a mistake? Oh yeah, here I have a error here. Let's reload it. There we go. That light purple color has got applied. I'm pretty sure most of you might not like this color. That's not the idea. It is just the method how to use the background color. Everybody's preferred color I can't use, you might have your own preferred color. When you're practicing, use your own preferred colors and test them with your web design, right? Okay, let's get started again, right? So you can use either RGB method, you can use hexadecimal, or you can use RGBA, or you can just use the name of a color. So this is how you change the background color of your body, which means the entire canvas, you can change the color. So you set the background color to the body. Let's change the color of background color of in one to one color and heading to another color, right? So let's put H1, right? So the property, background color, background dash color. Open curly, you put the colon. Then what you do is you start typing the color. Now let's say I'm looking for a color like background color like in orange color. I will just type orange like this to save the time. I will type orange like this. Then what I will do is I will reload this, and you can see that it gets the background color done. And from there I can work. If this color I don't prefer, just hit on this and you can start changing. And if you want hexadecimals, you hit here, it will start changing. See, it will start changing. I like to have it in hexadecimals. Well, it makes the code simple. And I don't preferably I don't like orange. Let's choose a little bit something like this kind of background. Okay, so that kind of a color I'm looking for. I choose that, click outside, save the document, Control S, go to your web page and reload. There we go. That is getting applied to the background of the headings. The headings naturally takes the entire space from left to right. Later we will see how we can control that also. Okay. Right. Next one. What we're going to do is H2. All right. Let's continue. I'm going to put a different color for the background for the H2 part. Its whole purpose is just to show you how to do this. Right. This time I'm going to work with the color like violet. Then I will hit here and I'll choose the color that I want. That's like that. Okay. And this time I like the text color to be white. So background color is purple and foreground color is white. Let's reload this. So this part you lock so that this color is going nice with the background color and it works like this. Okay. So it's possible for you to do that part. That is also done now. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. The next part is going to be we learned about how to change the background colors. We will stop the background color part here and let's go and do the background images. So I'm going to close the program again and I'm going to duplicate the demo 6 BG1. So select that, Control C, Control V, which is copying and pasting inside the same place. Then I select the same document, pressing F2 key on my keyboard to rename this. Right, then I will change the name as demo 7 and that's going to be background 2. Okay, so no copy part is coming. That's it. All right. After that, what we do is in here we're going to work with the background images. Okay, call for the praise going on. Let's wait for about 1.5 minutes. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, Zuleha.
Yeah, did you mute it? Because
Yes, I'm muted. The azan is going on. I will.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for waiting. I'm just, meanwhile, I'm just downloading the pictures. Um, we will talk about this. You know how to include images. There are different type of images available. Um, these are easy for us to use. That's why I'm just downloading them. Okay. I have 3 pictures. I think that will be enough. Right. Okay. Let's go to our web page. Now, students, carefully watch. In my this one, in my what do you call in my folder, working folder, I have a CSS folder, but I don't have an images folder. I have to have images folder, and I have moved all the files there. Right. Let me do that very quickly. Um, yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 files. I'm going to move them here. See, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder here, right? So I will click this one again, this one. Then when that is selected, I'll create another one called images. Images. I'm inside images now. See, I got a folder created. Going inside and pasting it, right? I have some pictures. Please remember, all my pictures are not JPG types. One is JPG, this one is WebP, this is also WebP, this is JPG. So we'll use those pictures in our project, right? This is going to be very interesting. Okay, there were 48 people were there. Now after the sun, there is around 44 people. Doesn't matter. Let's continue. Okay. Right. Let's go to the back and let's open it up. So this is the same starting page. I am not interested in working with all the things. So I prefer removing whole thing. And let's do a fresh one here. Let's put the body. So for the body of the web page, I'm adding an image, background image actually. So to do that, what we do is right. So let's do it. So when you want to have a background image done, very simple. You do the code like this. You type background dash image colon, then you type URL. Okay, universal resource locator. You just give a path, open parenthesis, then you can start typing the path. Not like in HTML, it is not a must to use double quotes or single quotes, but it's always a good practice use either of that. I'm going to use a double quotes. Then you can see automatically it is showing the files and folders there. This is something which is very good in CSS. I'm sorry, not CSS, in VS Code. That's a good feature. Well, we're going to use something like this. I'm going to go in images, then put the /, and you can see all the pictures are lining up. So let's choose one and put the semicolon. Now what happens here is when you save this one and when you reload this, we got rid of the background image also. I'm sorry, the color. And this is a picture that just I downloaded and I used it. Now the thing here is if I zoom out, you will see that picture is getting repeated again and again and again. The reason is this kind of pictures are known as textures. You'd have seen in flow tiles. We use these kind of things, right? So when you put them together with others, it looks really beautiful, right? So if it is really beautiful, you can use it. It's all right. It's okay. But it should not be very cluttering or it should not be very distracting from your foreground. I'm just randomly downloading and putting pictures back in the scene. If you really like, you can use Photoshop and you can make this image really fade away. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use other pictures and see. Let's put the other image. Let's try a different image. So after deleting the file name, if you press Control key and spacebar, the other images are coming. So I'm giving 2.webp. Let's reload that and see. So that is a structure for wood or something, right? This is the 100% view. So if I zoom out, you can see it's finishing and starting in some places, but it's okay, kind of cool, right? So it's, if you really like this kind of an appearance for your web page or website, you can do that. But you know, you have to make your text then some bright color, then only it will be visible. It's not a very good design, but it's better than the previous one. Now you can see the text. All right. Okay. Now let's put another image and see. I think the third one is also a WebP image. This is another image, as you can see. So if I zoom out, you can see that's a large image anyways, right? Okay. And the last one, because we downloaded a lot of pictures. So let's try them. JPG. There we go. Okay. So I just wanted to show you that by default, when you put a small image, which means I'm not talking about a very high resolution picture, it's a small image. Naturally, they are repeating. They are repeating in the X direction as well as they are repeating in the Y axis, which means across and vertically, it is repeating. So that is naturally which is happening. Now we're going to take more control over this, how they're going to appear in the screen. All right. So first what we do is we add a background image. So we need a suitable image to practice with. Let's try something like, I think the third one was good. So this image seems to be okay, right? Let's put to 100% view. This is how it looks. As you can see, this is going this way, it is repeating, as well as the other way also it is repeating, right? Okay. Let's go here. And there's the option I'm going to use. First, we practice just the background, how to put a background. So now we're going to learn how to put the background image. Now, there are around 46 students again. Please tell me, each one I can have a separate file here, or I can continuously I can do, and I can keep them commented for you. So in one project, you can see everything. I think that will be better, right? Rather than having several files. All right, first of all, we're going to see something called background repeat. Okay, so when you give the value background repeat, you have few options. First of all, the default one is repeat. This is the default one. Even if you do not mention this, even if you do not type the code, this is how the background is behaving. All right, this is the default behavior. All right, so that is one. Okay, the second one, background repeat. When you say, you can say repeat X. You know, always X means across, right? Across this way, horizontally. Now, if I reload this page, now you can see, now I'm zooming out because this is a bit large image. You can see only at the top, it is repeating across. There's no way it is repeating top to bottom, which means vertically it's not repeating. Only across the page, it is repeating. Okay, so that is how that works. Background repeat X across. If you want, I can put a comment for you. I'm pretty sure that you are okay. Across, right? Or horizontally. Okay. Let's comment that also. Oh, sorry. Right. And let's say background repeat. Let's repeat Y direction. Okay, as you're expecting, see what's happening. So let's reload this. Or this direction, it is repeating. So if you use a suitable picture, you will get a nice effect. Okay, right. Let's try this one with the picture one and see. That was a normal picture. So this is the image. So now you can see the page looks like something like that. Okay, so there are other things are there. You can take more control. you can take this one inside and make it smaller. Those things, it's possible. So if it's not enough, so small part, you can leave it on one side of the web page and you can do it, right? You can have the text. Like this, it's possible for you to control the things, right? So once you are starting to do that, it will start to take shape. Okay, you people very rarely in between talk when I'm doing this design. I hope you understand in this one, isn't it? Can you at least give a small thumbs up if you if you have understood up to this point? Or you can microphone, you can switch it on and you can speak, no problem. Okay. So if you understood, I hope you got it. Yeah, okay. Right, thank you. Few people are responding. Nice. Right. Yeah, okay, we will continue then, right? So that is about the background repeating process, right? So you will be doing things like that, right? Now the next one is we're going to do something like no repeat, right? So I'll teach that as well. See what happens. You're going to say background dash repeat. You say no repeat. Background dash repeat. You give no repeat. And when you reload this, only once in your web page, it's going to appear. Only once it's going to appear in your web page. It's not going to repeat across. It's not going to repeat top to bottom. Okay. So that's how usually this works. So that is no repeat. All right. And students, there's one more thing along with no repeat we can learn, which is a bit interesting to do, which is the background position and background attachment, right? First of all, let me teach you what do you mean by background attachment. You have three things. Background attachment, you can use something called text. All right, when you reload this, so if you got, okay, let's put that scroll. All right, scroll, and let me make my web page very tall. You know, I will make it very tall by adding a carry tag here. Uh, we will leave a gap like that, and to save time, let's copy this one. So that will do, right? So paste, paste, paste. Okay, that is length enough now. So when we go back to our page and when you reload this, so we have a very lengthy web page. You can see the scroll bar is appearing here. And if I select the scroll bar and if I go down, you can see I start to scroll the page down. You can see the background image is also scrolling up like that. Okay, right. So if you want the background image to stay in one place, only the text to scroll, it's very simple. Instead of scroll, you will give the value fixed. Okay, when you do that and when I start scrolling, you can see the background is staying and the text is scrolling. If this is the kind of effect that you like to have in your web page, you may do so. Okay, right. So that is about the background attachment. Popularly, you'll be using scroll or fixed. Okay, you can use either of these. Now that we have used the background repeat to no repeat and the background attachment fixed, let's give something called the background position, which I did a little while ago. Okay, when you say background position, we say from X direction, how many pixels we want the background to be to the right side, and from the top to the bottom, how many pixels it need to be pushed. So it's pretty simple how you give background. I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, it's not appearing in blue. Now it is appearing in blue. Background dash position. First you give the back from the left side, which is X direction. So we're going to give something like 0px and 0px, right? 0px, 0px. This is the 0, 0 location. By default, that is where it is attached to. When I reload this, and if I scroll it up, down, you can see the background is exactly there. Well, if you want to make it small, if you want to move, let's give a positive value here, something like 250 pixels, which is going to make the image move to your right side. See, it is making a movement from this side to this side. Okay. So if you want further, you can try a different value and see. So it is coming somewhere there. And from top also, if you want to move, you can give something like another value, let's say 200. Now it is up here. So when you scroll the page, it will stay there and it will be nicely there. Imagine if you have something like your logo and you want to have it like a watermark in the behind of your web page. This is a good idea to do it. So you can have it a very washed out like a logo in the background, and you can make the web page scroll down or up. Meanwhile, holding the background image in a consistent location, which means it is static. It's not going to move the content. All right. Hope you understand that. Cool. So students, that is about the background position, and there are some other methods that you can use the background position, right? Rather than using exact pixel values, the measurement can be done in pixel values. You can use percentage values as well. For example, let's say you want the left side to be 25%. Okay, 25%. And from top, it should be 10%. Okay, let's reload this and see. Now that's a percentage. And if I make the page smaller or bigger, you can see there's a small change happening in the distance here, as well as this one if I reduce or increase the height. Can you see there's a small change happening, appearing this gap? See, I'm going down, the gap is reducing, 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 reducing. When I go left, right, 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 it is reducing, left, 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 it is growing. Okay, so when the page is growing, it is adjusting, getting adjusted. That is the beauty of giving that in percentage value. When you're practicing, please, you can practice that as well. All right, cool. I think that's it. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. You can give like this also. You can give some names. You can give the names. You can give top, which means it's going to come here. Let's say top sender, which is going to come here. Let's say top, and let's say bottom. Oh, let's say center bottom. So it's going to give you to that place, right? So that's really beautiful. You can try with those names and values, right? I will leave one for you. Others I'm going to comment. So when you're practicing, please practice them well. Okay. Well, I am going to leave this one for you. So that is quite easy and interesting for you to practice and see. So that's about the background, colors and images, how to use them. Okay. So today's class, we perfectly learned how to make use of the text colors, foreground colors. There are different ways of using colors for background as well as for foreground. And we learned how to create background images. What do you mean by background images? Repeating, how to stop repeating, how to repeat only on one direction, how to repeat in the other direction, and how to make the background image stay in one place while the text is scrolling. All these things we learn. All right. And as I told you in this comment, right, so how to download pictures without any copyrights, you can go to any website called pixabay.com. Those who are doing video editing, you might know this website. If you go to pixabay.com, there are millions of pictures that you can download. I'm going to download a picture of a roses. So if you just type roses, you will get a lot of pictures of roses, whatever you want. And you can download any of this picture without paying not even a cent. Without paying any money, you can buy this. I'm sorry, you can get these pictures and you can use them in your projects. And you can contribute this to this, what do you call, from your end as well. All right. These are paid ones. There are paid ones also common, but you don't have to go for paid ones. You can download these images. All right. Okay, that's it. I think for the web design unit for today, right? For the ninth session. So I'm going to wind up the class now. Time is almost 7:30, and within about 2 minutes, like I'll be starting the photography class, right? Hope you enjoyed the class today, and see you in the next session, right? Okay. Have a nice day. God bless you all.